Hey, what's up, guys? Just dropping kind of a little tutorial here on openers and rotation for Outlaw Rogue. A couple of you guys asked for this. Um, I do main Outlaw, but I've been starting to play Assassination a little bit because the damage is just so significantly higher. So if you guys want to see an Assassination guide at some point in the future, let me know. But we're just going over Outlaw today. I'll be doing the Hidden Opportunity build. Just because it's kind of a little more beginner friendly. A lot less stuff to focus on. So generally, this is guided towards Mythic Plus. I'm not really gonna do a raid guide. Different build. You switch around a couple talents. You want Thistlety, you pick up single, and you drop Blade Flurry. Kind of stuff. But your rotation is generally gonna be the same, and your opener is going to be the same as your single target. The only difference is you pick up Thistlety. And some builds don't even do that. Like the Keep It Rolling single target build. I don't even know if it has that. But I don't raid with Keep It Rolling. I haven't raided in a while. I do play Keep It Rolling in Mythic Plus, but just for sake of ease, I'll be going over Hidden Opportunity. I'll talk a little bit about Keep It Rolling in the end, if you guys want to skip to that. But I'm just going to start off with the AoE Opener. So, couple rules of thumb here. You always want to have an Adrenaline Rush on cooldown, because it has cooldown reduction from every other ability, basically. And something to take note of here is I have Ghostly Strike macroed into Ambush as well as Dispatch. I don't have it macroed into Between the Eyes because I think that's like the smart thing to do, because you want to press Ghostly Strike when you're dumping all your damage. But generally, like, this build works pretty well with these macros. Unless you're pushing, you know, high, like super high 15 content, it doesn't really matter. It's a pretty marginal gain. But always keep Roll the Bone or Adrenaline Rush on cooldown. Generally, always keep Vanish on cooldown. And that's because basically every ability you have has cooldown reduction. So your opener is going to look something like Adrenaline Rush, Roll the Bones, Slice and Dice to get that rolling, because you want that immediate attack speed. So AR, roll, Slice and Dice, and that's going to consume the combo points from Adrenaline Rush. So then you can immediately walk up to the pack and press Blade Flurry and start dumping combo points into Between the Eyes. And since I'm not going to be pressing Ambush, the first thing I'm actually going to do is press Ghostly Strike here. That's why it's on my bar for basically openers. So you're going to Adrenaline Rush, Roll the Bones, Slice and Dice, Blade Flurry, Ghostly Strike, and then just dump combo points. Right, and if it's on cooldown, I'm going to Vanish. And whenever I can, just Blade Flurry, because you get max combo points. It's a lot more efficient than Ambush. And generally a rule of thumb, another one, there's a lot of rules of thumb. So you don't want to press Pistol Shot unless you kind of already have 3 combo points, because you want to be able to Pistol Shot and then immediately Between the Eyes. And also here, I can Vanish, and since Between the Eyes didn't proc, I'll pop Adrenaline Rush and I'll roll, and then continue to Between the Eyes. And the whole focus of this build, and also Keep It Rolling as well, is that you just want to be able to dump as many combo points into Between the Eyes as you can during your subterfuge window. So things like Adrenaline Rush, if you have this, if you already have your buff up and this comes off cooldown, you can Vanish with no combo points, press Adrenaline Rush to refresh your burst. Then you can also roll. This will supercharge, I guess not in this build. But you can Adrenaline Rush to get a full combo points, and then now you can Vanish in Between the Eyes, right? As opposed to slowly building up combo points again and then vanishing. You can just immediately go to 7 and put this on cooldown. Same thing goes for Blade Flurry, right? If I don't have combo points, Blade Flurry, immediately Vanish Between the Eyes. And so, like, if Between the Eyes doesn't proc, and, like, let's say I have Subterfuge, Blade Flurry instead of Sinister Strike. Stuff like that, just to maximize the amount of combo points you're dumping into Between the Eyes. So after your opener, right, Adrenaline Rush, Roll the Bones, Slice and Dice, and then just Blade Flurry is really your opener. And then that sets you up for your rotation. And which is just going to be basically whenever Between the Eyes comes off cooldown, press it. Whenever Vanish comes off cooldown, press it, and then spam Between the Eyes. And press whatever you can to maximize combo points. Adrenaline Rush, Blade Flurry, to basically gain full combo points, as opposed to pressing Ambush. Something I want to talk about, when you're inside of your stealth window, so like right now, I can dump at 5 or 6 combo points, because it's more efficient parse-wise. And if I'm outside of my subterfuge window, like right now, I want to dump at 6 or 7. I don't want to dump at 5. But if I'm vanishing, it's okay to dump at 5, because I'll still proc, right? It's more important to just keep getting Between the Eyes off with at least 5. But now that I'm outside again, I'm going to wait till I have 6 points. Obviously, always press Vanish on cooldown to keep Between the Eyes, or keep Adrenaline Rush up. Because when you're in stealth, this doesn't fall off because of this talent right here. That also means your Blade Flurry is not going to fall off, which is nice. Single target, basically the same thing, you just don't press Blade Flurry. Alright, so you're going to stealth. I already have cooldowns here, which will happen a lot in dungeons, so I'm just going to walk up to my target, press Ambush, and then just go immediately into Between the Eyes whenever I can. Alright, Vanish is up, so I'm going to build my combo points first, and then I'm going to start dumping. You know, no procs there, feels bad, but look at this, Adrenaline Rush is already back up, right? So I'm going to press that, and just keep reducing these cooldowns. Right? Reroll. And now I can press Between the Eyes with this new patch, even if Vanish is off cooldown, because when I vanish, it resets. So yeah. The whole goal here, like I said earlier, is just like get your combo points into that subterfuge window, and you'll be okay. I guess the next thing I'll talk about is kind of orientated towards like tips and tricks, right? So like what rolls are good? Broadside, generally if you have broadside, you don't want to reroll it. This is just straight up damage. 15% damage, you know, on top of 15%. You can do 30% extra damage just with these 2 buffs, right? Your other rolls, so like broadside, true bearing, great roll, anything with broadside, like even if it's just broadside, don't reroll it. Keep broadside. Doesn't matter even if it's broadside and buried treasure. Like buried treasure is the worst roll you can get. If it has broadside, keep it. Stuff you can reroll is like maybe like grand melee and buried treasure. Your 3 good rolls are broadside, true bearing, and where's the shark fin? Ruthless precision. This gives you a lot of damage. If you have 2 rolls, generally you want to keep it. You don't really want to reroll on 2 rolls. I'd say the only time that I really feel bad, or the only time I feel good about rerolling on 2 rolls is if it's buried treasure plus grand melee. Because I don't know, grand melee is not that bad, but it just feel like you'll see there'll be times where you feel bad. You're like, where's my haste? Where's my energy? Where's my combo points? Other than that, don't reroll. Obviously, if it's a single buff, if you only have buried treasure, or if you only have, did I not roll the skull one? If you only have the one that gives you pistol shot procs, you know, you can reroll. You want broadside or true bearing. These are your best buffs, plus ruthless precision. These are your 3 best buffs. So if you have a single roll that's not that, you can reroll. What else? I guess I can kind of move on to keep it rolling now. So, one other thing to note. For this build, I have 33% haze because I'm using my keep it rolling gear. But for this build, you only need 15%. So my base haste right now is 15%, and I have a talent when I go to stealth that gives me 10%. So 15%, like 10 to 15 is the requirement for hidden opportunity, and keep it rolling is recommended. I think it's 16 to 20. 16 to 20 is kind of the range. Other than that, you'll just start hitting diminishing returns on your haste. So I have a different set of gear for this build, which brings me to 20. It's a little bit low verse. Like I need a haste verse ring really badly. Like this is probably better, but it just feels bad with low haste. I like to run 20% haste. So I'll talk about keep it rolling a little bit. Sometimes, like this is how I feel about Assassination Rogue, where it's like you're not pressing as many buttons, which makes it feel like you're doing less damage relative to hit an opportunity, because you just always have a button to press. But even if you feel like you're pressing less buttons, they're doing more damage because you're gonna be able to maintain 4 and 5 buffs a lot more often. But I'll just talk about keep it rolling. So the rule with keep it rolling is don't press it unless you have 4 buffs. Doesn't matter what those 4 buffs are. So I'll roll here, and you can see. Let me regain real quick my rolls so I can show you guys. So if I bring this off cooldown, so I'll keep it rolling, and so recognize that I refresh these buffs, right? And now what's gonna happen is, this is why this build is so good, is I can reroll, and unfortunately I didn't really do anything there. You want to generally adrenaline rush and then reroll to get 2 buffs, but you'll keep the 2 that you kept rolling, and then additionally you'll be able to roll for more procs, more buffs. So don't press it unless you have 4 buffs already. Or a situation where you could press it is like if you have, wow, I got terrible rules there. If you have broadside plus buried treasure plus subtle precision, or whatever the shark fin is, like those are your 3 best rolls. You can keep it rolling on that. But if you try and force it, like if you only have broadside, or if you only have the precision one, I don't even know what that's called. Like you're gonna be wasting damage, because the whole goal here is to maintain 4 and 5 buffs with this build. It's a little bit more nuanced. It's harder to play and perfect. Generally more engaging than hidden opportunity. But I think they're both fun. You know, it's a really engaging spec. It's really high buttons per minute. And obviously the goal with keep it rolling as well is just put as many combo points as you can into these subterfuge windows. Like there's a bunch of procs in a row there. I don't even have any buffs. And it's gonna feel bad, like I don't have my burst up right now, so like this build feels bad. If you drop adrenaline rush with this build, you're kind of fucked for damage. You can't drop it. So like that's what I mean, where it's a little bit harder to play, but it parses significantly higher than hidden opportunity. So I have 4 buffs here. This is a situation where I would keep it rolling. Unfortunately, I didn't have it right there. Even there, I procced broadside again. So I can keep it rolling here, and then watch this. I can roll again, and I just procced another buff. Now I have 5 buffs. So like this is a really good situation. So like my adrenaline rush just came back up, and right now I have a 5 roll. You know, it dropped to 4, but I have 20 seconds of a 4 roll, which would never happen really on a hidden opportunity. That's why this build is so good. And look, I just procced broadside again. So like now you can see this build really picks up, because I have all 5 buffs. And then when they fall off, boom, I can roll. I have adrenaline rush up, and I press that. Now I have 4 buffs again, right? Like it's just consistently, this is kind of more so what an M+ dungeon looks like. This is a great roll. And I have this coming back up again. So if I proc right now, like this is actually a pretty good time to press that. Boom. And then I got the vanish off just before this fell off, right? So now I can go back here. I messed up a little bit, but I have 4 rolls, or I have a 4 buff for the next 40 seconds. Now it's 5. So So you can see how advantageous this build can be if you play it correctly. And my adrenaline rush is coming off cooldown, but it doesn't matter because, boom, I got it right back. Now I'm just going straight back into these managed windows. Insane procs right now, which is awesome. Still have a 5 roll, by the way. And I actually just got Keep It Rolling back in time to extend that 5 roll. And now just right back into procking. Something about this build that is also noteworthy. As you just saw there, I had my buff up. Which one is it? Loaded dice. Loaded dice in this build will proc supercharger. Whenever you roll, you'll proc supercharge combo points. And this is actually something important. So let's wait for Vanish to come back up, right? So if I roll right now, you can see that I have 2 supercharged combo points. And what that means is my next 2 finishers are gonna act like they have 2 extra combo points. So I'm gonna wanna save these for my BTE window, right? Because this is what's gonna get the most use out of those supercharged combo points. That's like a very small thing, right? So I don't have my Vanish window, so like now if I roll, I'm gonna dump these into Dispatch, which does significantly less damage than Between the Eyes. That's a really good tip for this build as well. And yeah, if you guys like have any more questions, let me know. Generally, your stats, you can find these on Wowhead or like Archon, but you're gonna be verse crit are gonna be your stats. Agility over everything, really. Item level over everything. But they're pretty even. You kind of want to be around 20% for everything. I'm a little bit low verse right now because I have to run that extra haste. Just makes me feel a little bit better playing the build. You know, here's your talents for Keep It Rolling. Here's your talents for Hidden Opportunity. And I can run less haste with Hidden Opportunity, right? So I'm gonna run more verse, less haste, because you just don't need it. You want to be higher verse if you don't need haste. Yeah, if you guys want to know anything else, leave a comment. I'll go over it. I might even just revise this video down the road because I don't know, I'm kind of new to this. But yeah, I hope this helps you guys out. Any of you new Outlaw players. If you have any questions about Keep It Rolling, there's a lot to talk about there. Wowhead goes really in depth on, you know, when you should and should not do everything. But yeah, hope this was useful information, and let me know if you guys liked the video. Thanks.